Hi, my name is Brittany Williamson. Today I'm so excited to share this information with you as it's part of my home and I enjoy learning more about it and getting to share that. So today we're going to talk about grazing lands that have turned into drinking water, and it is the history of the Novato Creek watershed. A watershed is an area of land used to drain rainwater into a body of water, which then supplies our drinking water and the water we also use for agriculture and manufacturing. The first people to live in our watershed were the Miwok Indians. They were the earliest residents and dated back as early as 1770, almost 250 years ago. The history of the Miwok Indians can be seen at Olompali State Park on the north side of Mount Burdell and at Miwok Park off Novato Boulevard. I highly recommend going to Miwok Park during one of the Native American festivals to learn more about their history, hear some sacred chants, watch traditional dancing, and see traditional tools and goods made with natural sources like weapons and baskets. The Miwok Indians mainly use local water runoff for drinking, catching food, cooking, and cleaning. But in 1839, more people were coming into the area. This was about 200 years ago. At this time, Mexican land grants established Rancho Novato, and this brought grazing into the area. You can still see grazing all around Novato now. It's very abundant around Mount Burdell, O'Hare Park, and a lot of the grasslands and hills. What this did is this ended up bringing in a lot of invasive grass species, which then affected the native grasses and altered water runoff. If you're at Stafford Lake, it is a great place to take a look around, and you can see all the wild oats that are abundant all over the hillsides and the grasslands. And these are invasive species that have taken over due to grazing. By the 1850s, the creeks were being sourced for irrigation, and tidal marshes were being diked to prevent floods and drained for agriculture. Before 1948, the watershed was privately owned by Ryan Ranch and later became known as the Novato Water Company. At this time, the water was only sourcing about 200 people, but Novato started to grow rapidly, and as it grew, more water was needed. So a committee was formed to purchase the Novato Water Company. By the early 1950s, it had been purchased and the watershed had expanded with the building of Stafford Lake and the dam. The Novato Creek watershed is now 45 square miles, and Novato Creek is its main drainage. The Novato Creek watershed is bordered by Mount Burdell, Red Hill, Ignacio Valley, Big Rock, and Indian Tree Open Space Preserve. Take a look here on this map. You can see that the watershed is bordered by Deer Island, Mount Burdell, private land, Indian Tree, Big Rock, and Ignacio Valley Open Space Preserve. You can see that the watershed drains into the large San Pablo Bay. Stafford Lake was built to improve the water system and build a dam to control the water flow. It is now also used for many recreational activities that many locals use today. You can go hiking, biking, you can play frisbee golf, you can fish, picnic, and you can golf. But no swimming's allowed, no boats are allowed, and no pets are allowed. And you might ask why? And the answer is because this is a source of our drinking water. The Novato Creek water source currently delivers 20% of Novato's water use. That water comes from runoff from the surrounding area, primarily the Novato Creek, which develops out of Mount Burdell, and then is all collected in through Stafford Lake. The other 80% comes from Russian River in Sonoma County. Due to high urban development, parts of the creek's water flow are narrower than needed due to the inability to grow and expand. Take a look at this map to see what the area is like in the watershed. This map shows the watershed's vegetation. You can see on the upper end we have more grasslands and forest, and on the lower end there's wetlands, grasslands, and agriculture. In the creeks, you can see a lot of sediment, and it's often seen on the higher reaches of the watershed due to upstream landslides, erosion, and gully development. Sediment on the lower reaches are naturally occurring and promote a natural channel configuration. Here on this next map, you can see where there are challenges for the water to flow through due to development in the urban area. This map shows the water's ability to flow through. You can see where all the red is indicated of our urban area, which has affected the water flow due to constriction. The watershed actually holds 10 different fish species, and here on this map, you can see where they are collected. This is a great map for viewing where specific fish species can be found within the watershed. 6 of the fish that are in the creek system are actually native fish, and these include the California roach, the Sacramento pygmino, Sacramento sucker, the steelhead, three-spined stickleback, and prickly sculpin. And the watershed also supports rearing and spawning for steelhead. 4 of the species are introduced, and that includes the rainwater killfish, western mosquito fish, striped bass, and green sunfish. There are also salmonoids in the creek, but these are known and claimed to be strays from the Sacramento River system. Even from its very beginning, the watershed land has been used for grazing, specifically for cattle, and it still is today. Grassland, oak bay woodlands, saltwater marshes, brackish water marshlands, freshwater seasonal wetlands, all are habitats within the watershed. This brings about a wide variety of plant and animal life. The wetlands and marshes are hosts of many migratory waterfowls and shorebirds. And a great spot for viewing some of these is the wetlands in Deer Island. You can also find a ton of information by going onto the iNaturalist app or online and finding local open spaces and preserves in the Novato Creek watershed to see what plant and animal life has been observed there. If you have time, take time to explore the area and try to spot some plants and animal life you find within the app, or if you find something new, make sure you add it in. I hope you enjoyed learning about the history of the Novato Creek watershed. And as we know, it provides its residents with treated water, provides homes and refuge for many different animal and plant species, is home to a variety of habitats, and is also a large source of recreation for residents. As we continue to utilize and transform the watershed, it is important we stay aware of our impacts on the natural water flows and the environment, and to keep track of the animal and plant life that the watershed inhabits. So if you have any questions, let me know.